Hi everyone, this is Maria, and for the last month I've been running an experiment to see what I can do to manage my energy levels better. In this video I'll share the good, the bad and the ugly, or basically what happened. Here we go. In short, I failed miserably. On the other hand, I've learned a lot and I've decided to keep on going with this experiment during the next month. So my April will be again all about energy levels, and hopefully some of the lessons learned I'll be able to try and implement then. So what happened? Well, let me show you the pages that I actually used this month. First the monthly goals and then the weekly spread. As you can see, both of them aren't used quite a lot, though actually the monthly one was useful now that I think about it. The weekly ones is when you can see I haven't written a single letter in the days boxes. So why this happened? Well, I started the month having all the right intentions, but then life happened. Basically, both of my kids got sick 1 week. That continued for a couple of weeks, and me and my husband also got sick. Fun times. And then we got back to normal and I had an absolutely crazy busy week at my corporate job. Then one of the kids was sick. Then when he got better, we literally drove him to the nursery, and an hour and a half after that I got a call from the other nursery saying that I need to go pick up the other kid because he was sick now. So yeah, obviously if I had prioritized planning, those pages wouldn't have been as empty as they are, but that's something for the lessons learned section. Now going to the monthly page, and the things that I did find actually useful is having the monthly goals. So whenever I had time to open this, which wasn't every day by the way, but whenever I did, I would always look at the monthly goals and I would remind myself what were those things. And so I've worked on all of them, even though I haven't completed all. Actually, I've completed 2 out of 3 so far, and for next week there's still hope. There's 1 more week left for the month, so maybe that will get done. But even if not, 2 out of 3 is still nice given all the craziness of this month. I found the to-do list super useful, and I think I'll add some more lines. I found that I actually, since I had divided it in 3 columns, I kind of used them for different categories of tasks. The first one was about my personal development, the second one was work stuff, which is something I'm trying for the first time, to be honest. In these planners, I've kept it personal stuff only, but now I added here work stuff as well this month, which I have to say I don't like very much because I do have a separate one that is work only, and I feel that gives me that separation of personal life versus work. If everything is in one book, then I don't know why, but it just feels mixed up, and I prefer having them separate. So that's a lesson again for next month. And the third column was about family related things, so I'm definitely keeping the to-do list and adding some more lines to it probably next month. Then wins, challenges, and next month. I use the challenges section a bit just to write down, but I don't have time. Actually, no, it's not that I don't have time, it's that I haven't made time for the planner. I haven't prioritized this. So again, this is something I'll try to fix next month. Then going to the left hand side, the vertical calendar. Oh, I love this. I hadn't added much stuff because most of the things this month were work related and they actually live in my other book. But here for the personal things like some kids' birthdays, some trips, doctor's appointments, that works perfectly. I absolutely love it and I'm keeping it. I find it much more practical than the boxes views, and that's something I'm very surprised to find out because I actually love the other one, how it looks, but in terms of functionality this beats it, so that's what I'm keeping. Then the Wheel of Life, I absolutely love having that, and here I've already put in the scores for 3 of the 4 weeks, and I already see improvements in the things that I'm measuring, which is the point. So definitely Wheel of Life is staying in my next monthly goals spread, and just having them there and once a week filling out that table with the scores and then plotting it on the graph, this gives me the visual representation of how things are, and these are just the few key things that I really care about, and I absolutely love tracking only that and knowing that everything else is just not as important right now. And this month I wanted to track sleep, water, food, exercise and meditation, and to be honest, I only managed to work on 2 of those, and those are sleep and water, and the results are visible in both areas, and I'm super happy with that. I got into the habit of preparing a glass of water before I go to bed, and that's the first thing I drink in the morning, and then during the day I keep refilling my glass as I'm working. Sleep-wise as well, I have a bedtime alarm which is reminding me to start getting ready, which to be fair is my kids' bedtime, so there's no way to miss that. Overall energy, I've seen improvement, not as much as I hoped, to be honest, but still I went from a 3 beginning of the month to 6.5, then back to 5, and I feel that if I include diet in there and exercise, that will really help boost that score higher, but let's see next month what happens. Then moving on to the weekly spread, I'll be honest with you, I barely opened this thing, and first I added a couple of goals for the week, and then the stuff that I mentioned earlier happened and I never got back to it, and whenever I would open the planner I would only look at the monthly spread, so this actually makes me question how much do I need a weekly spread. I don't know. For now I'll keep it next month, but I feel that for me and given my hectic life from time to time, the monthly one is where I'm getting most value. I'll still keep the weekly ones, but they're more nice to have. If I'm having a regular look at the monthly one, I feel I'm getting 80% of the value of having that planning. Maybe the habit tracker is the thing that would be most useful here, and I haven't used it a single time, unfortunately. As I said, maybe I opened this spread like 3 to 5 times this month. I've been much more consistent with the other one, with the monthly one, and that usually happens sometime during the day. That's another thing that I think is the problem. I don't have a specific time when I will look at my planner, so that's also something that I need to fix for next month. I feel that if I attach it to something that I'm already doing, then I'd be much more likely to actually stick with it. So yeah, let's see what happens next month. That has been my very honest review of planning, or rather trying to, and how it's going. It's far from perfect, but I think the most important thing is to keep going, so that's what I'm doing next month. Alright, see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.